I am so happy with how this looks for the Rangers. We have a pitcher, Jack Leiter, and he is a dude.
Athletic enough to get to any ball. And while I do think his hitting is worse than Derek Jeter, it's not that far off.
So he reached double digits. The big question has been answered.
It just leaves it to where I don't believe that the Canadians had a shot.
The steal of the draft is Will Taylor to the Texas Rangers in the 19th round after he signs with them.
We'll see what happens during his career. It's important to keep his Scotty around Chris Middleton. It's important to keep his Dennis Rodman, which I believe is like Drew Holiday, another important defender, a guy who's a team builder. And maybe that's PJ Tucker. I don't know who's the Dennis Rodman of the team.
I really don't like the Clippers just kind of sending it in when they're like, good job, Manfred. You won't get many of those for the rest of the year.
And you can quote this on me. There is no way the Orioles or Red Sox make the playoffs this season. There's no way. There's no way.
You're not mentioning 2006. You can mention the other people. Not 2006. You already took your math shot.
Well, it's also like you think, oh, just because I bought the best soap doesn't mean your room's going to be clean. Just because you bought the best vacuum doesn't mean the floor is going to be not dirty.
And then you have the Diamondbacks. And then Giants, I have them above the Rockies because I don't have any idea what the Rockies are doing.
Sam Bennett's someone I really expected to be a better player.
There will be a Rodgers playing for Green Bay, even though he may not be the quarterback. But it's still unknown there. Austin is giving me the dead stare, so I guess don't mention Aaron Rodgers to him right now.
Yeah, so we can compare a rookie QB to a toddler.
Corey Perry will give some veteran presence to the Canadians and to just help give some insights on what he did last year.
I agree 100%, and the reason why I agree is because this is a terrible trade for the long term.
What would you have said if I bet you $100 at the end of the round robin and start of the playoffs that the Stars would be in the Stanley Cup playoffs, or Stanley Cup finals?
Hi, this is Kelly Forbes with the Dallas Stars, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. Make sure to check out last NBA Opinions of the Week where we did NBA Power Rankings. Austin and I disagreed on some. We also talked about some of the trades that happened at the trade deadline. And as we started to see some players, of course, we talk about the Kristaps trade between Washington. But we're going to be reviewing the 2016 NBA draft. And I'm going to let Austin start off there.
Yeah, so this was a very tumultuous draft. Ben Simmons was taken first overall, and obviously he was out for injury his whole first season. Next was Brandon Ingram, then Jaylen Brown, Dragan Bender, Chris Dunn. But there's been 6 All-Stars in this draft. Jaylen Brown, Brandon Ingram, DeJounte Murray, Domantas Sabonis, Pascal Siakam, and Ben Simmons. Which of those players do you think has been the most successful? Of those 6 All-Stars, who's the most successful?
So, Ben Simmons, DeJounte Murray, Brandon Ingram, Jaylen Brown, and
Domantas Sabonis, Pascal.
Ooh, Pascal. Oh, that's tough. I almost want to lean toward Jaylen Brown or Brandon Ingram. But Pascal, like, he won Most Improved Player, and he won a championship with Kawhi where he played well. I kind of lead towards Jaylen Brown because I feel he's a fantastic player, and the Celtics just hit on this pick because I believe they initially traded down from the number 1 pick, right? Or was that next year when they selected Tatum? The Celtics. They traded because Philadelphia traded with Boston.
That was the next year. That was the next year.
Pretty sure. But getting Jaylen Brown, I think he's a fantastic defender, and he can also score. So I think, and while Brandon Ingram is a great scorer, and he's definitely blossomed in New Orleans, so I think I'm going to lean towards Jaylen Brown. What about you?
I'm going to go Pascal Siakam. That championship definitely puts it over the edge for me. He's been an All-NBA member. He's won Most Improved. He's won a championship. But there's some very, very good players in this draft that I haven't even mentioned yet, such as the 7th pick, Jamal Murray, or the 36th pick, Rookie of the Year that year, Malcolm Brogdon. So there's some very late picks here that were very good. 27th was Pascal, 29th was DeJounte, and 36th was Malcolm Brogdon. All of those players have won awards, whether it's All-Stars, NBA championships, or Rookie of the Year. And obviously, Malcolm Brogdon is a part of the 50-40-90 club. He's a starter for the Pacers right now, and he's definitely a good player too.
Yeah, you mentioned Karis LeVert. He was at 20.
I didn't mention him, but he's also a good player there.
Yeah, I really enjoy him. Like you mentioned, there are some really good players. To me, the pick that just stands out was Ben Simmons at number 1, especially since Philadelphia's already moved off him. And I like to think who they've chosen instead. I think it would have been Ingram, because I think Ingram now with Embiid would be a very nice tandem. What are your thoughts?
Um, you said Embiid and Brown would be a very good tandem.
Or Ingram and
Oh,
Embiid.
Ingram. I don't know necessarily. Ingram's a questionable player to me. I like him, but I don't think he should be. Wasn't I don't think he was an All Star last year. I think DeMar DeRozan should have been it over him, but it would definitely be a better fit since Brandon Ingram could shoot. Same thing with Jalen Brown. That would improve the defense as well because Ben Simmons is a good defender. So yeah, there's a lot of things to discuss there. Another player that I think should definitely be talked about is Georges Niang, mainly because he was picked 50 in the draft. Is a starter now, or not a starter, but he plays big minutes, 23 minutes per game for the Sixers right now, a very good team. While basically shooting 40% from three, he shot 40.3% for his career. He's averaging 9 points per game. I think he's a very, very, very good pick that was made by Indiana. Uh, and then he was traded to Utah, and then now he signed with Philadelphia, and he's been a quality player his entire career, even with that pick.
Yeah, one of like we did talk about the second round, and you mentioned Malcolm Brogdon and uh, Yorgis Niang,
Yeah.
and to me, Deontay Murray really stands out to me, but Siakam there too because it's end of the first round. Maybe it's just the Spurs always hitting on most of their picks. Like Deontay Murray was an All Star, like you just mentioned this year, and I just think that's an incredible pick just for them. And because I think he's definitely very much part of their future. But Siakam is also there too because he did win a championship and most improved player. So those two just really stick out to me. Jamal Murray sticks out to me, but he was within the top 10. So you should nab a player like Jamal Murray in the top 10. To me, with top 30, that just sticks out to me, especially when you're such a good team like the Spurs.
Yeah, another player, or I'll name two players I think should be mentioned. Jake Layman has played all 6 years in this league as the 47th pick in the draft. He's had some good seasons. Right now, he's on Minnesota. He was drafted by Portland. He's a big man. He can shoot a tiny bit, but it's pretty impressive for a 47th pick to be a mainstay in this league. And another player who's played 5 seasons in the league is still in the league right now. Abdul Nadar. He's currently on the Suns, but he's played on many, many teams in his career. His short career, he's played on 3 teams: Boston, OKC, and the Suns. And he was a 58th pick. So it's rare that you get a guy who's a mainstay in the league for the 58th pick. Another player that I think should be mentioned is Patrick Mccaw. Patrick Mccaw is the 38th pick in the draft, and while he's not on a team right now, mainly because of injuries and otherwise, he's won 3 championships, and that is nothing to scoff at.
I was trying to remember Patrick McCaw, because he won it with the Raptors. Definitely won
Yeah, and then he won Golden State Raptors.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Yeah, so very impressive draft. Also, like you mentioned, Malcolm Brogdon. He was very productive while he was on the Bucks, and then he's doing well with the Pacers. So just the second round is you can have a player like the players you mentioned who's productive in the NBA and stays in the NBA in the second round. I think that's a quality pick in the second round. because you really want to hit on those high picks. And some teams did, like the Celtics and um, uh, Lakers. The Lakers sort of hit on Ingram, but I would kind of say, or like Ingram did turn out a great player or a good player, but it didn't really work out for the Lakers because they traded him away. What are your thoughts
Yeah,
on
but
that?
that's still a good pick because you decide who you decide based on talent, not based on whether or not you're going to trade him in the future. So it's a good pick.
Okay. Yeah, so those are all my thoughts. Any final thoughts before we conclude the episode?
No, this is definitely one of the better drafts, though.
Yeah, we'll check on these every now and then and see how the drafts do. Personally, my favorite is probably 2018, for no reason, specifically. So we'll check that out in the future. And thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.